Hey guys, ZeroMagnumX. Remember that deck profile I promised you guys? Yeah, here it is. This should be clearer and easier to see than that crappy webcam one. At least I hope so. This is the... Sorry about that. That's the clock in the background. This is the Meklord scrap deck that I used that got me third. The thing about it is that a lot of people said that if they were scrap players they wouldn't use it, especially without 3 scrap dragons and a variety of other things. I just want to make a note that I am a good player, so I can work around and modify a deck whenever I don't have things and compensate it for. Way before theme decks were out, you used to put the best cards together and duel with them. So being that I used to duel like that all the time and just had logical choices as a deck itself, I guess you call them the old cookie cutter decks, I kind of have that experience under my belt, so to speak. That's why I got third place with this. Chaos Plants was first and 6 Sams were second. And I went to 3 with Sams with this deck. So, and they got me with a Sheen and Trisha LaPlay in the 3rd round. Okay. These would be the replacement for Reborn Tengus, the 3 King Tiger Wanhoos. These are really good to lock down your opponent who use smaller monsters. Since the only card in here for scraps that would be considered a weenie is Scrap Goblin. He's a good tech, especially since you're set in Scrap Goblin usually. Okay, only 2 Scrap Chimera, just because he can only be used with Scrap Synchros, so I only, when I go over my extra deck, it'll explain why I only use 2. Okay, 3 Goblin. This guy's really good. Like I said in the other video, I can't say enough good about him. 3 Golem. If I get a second effect Veiler, I'd probably put him in over the Golems, because Veiler was wonderful. Okay, 3 Beast. And then 1 Scale. And 3 Granule. And then 1 effect Veiler. Okay, spells are typical, you know, MSTs. Sorry about that. True Nade. 3 Storm. 2 Scrapyard. Because I draw into my stuff enough that I don't need it as much, especially 3 Scrap Storm. Okay, Dark Hole, Reborn, Book of Moon, Mind Control, Trap Cards, Compulsory Evacuation Devices. Like I said before, they're my warnings. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. There's bigger threats. Mirror Force, Staple, Torrential, almost a staple. Royal Decree. I only use 1. I know the one at YCS was using like 2, I think. But I like 1, and I drew into it whenever I needed it. And whenever I didn't need it, I didn't need it. I was either being dominated to where it would have hurt me, you know, like against Sams or whatever, or I was dominating to the point of where it just wasn't necessary. Or in the games that I drew it, it won for me. So 1 I think is really good. It's one of those cards that you're teched in if you're running so many traps. I don't like how it conflicts. 1 called the Haunted, which was good, but not as great. I've always had mixed feelings toward Call, because in some decks it's amazing, in other decks it's not so good. So it kind of helped. But mostly I drew it a whole lot against a 6 Sam player, so that didn't help. And 1 Royal Oppression. That was a good card for me all night. Okay, extra deck. Atomic Scrap Dragon, because just in case you can make him, he's there, and you have the room for 1 in the scrap deck. 2 Scrap Twins. I want to bump that up to 3. He is your boss monster of the deck. People might think this guy is Scrap Dragon, but he is far more useful. He bounces. He's got 3,000, so he can get over a lot of things, and he was excellent the entire night. So 1 Scrap Dragon, because I only own 1. That I'd run 2 of. I don't think I'd ever run 3 actually. 1 Scrap Archfiend because of Chimera, Stardust Dragon, Black Rose, Ancient Fairy for, you know, Dragoonity or Gravekeeper or what have you. He can eat, or she can eat field spells. 1 Gaia Knight, 1 Bryonic, and 1 Catastor. Okay, so that's the deck in full. If you guys want to stay around, I'm going to finally do a binder update video since my girlfriend is here recording this with her camera. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the deck. It will see more deck profiles. I'm probably sticking to it, especially when Exceeds come out. It'll make this deck broken in that, like, the Goblinberg deck or card. He'll allow for Exceeds. He'll allow you to drag a scrap tuner from the hand, and I think he can be used as synchro material. So there's a lot of outs with him that would be really good for this deck, especially to make level 8s and to exceed into rank 4s. So I think I'm going to stick around with this deck and mess around with it because it performed well, and I'm not jumping on the 6 Sam bandwagon. And Chaos Plants and Doppel Plants, I like them, but I'm not a typical Yusei fan. I mean, you know, I prefer a card that would get rid of him like Wang Hu than I prefer to synchro summon 5 monsters into 1, especially if that one gets warninged. So that's just some of my opinions. That's me personal as a player though, because I'm a stun player at heart. So I hope you like the deck, and I hope you enjoy the binder updates coming up. And I apologize that the binder videos are long. I'll try not to make them too long, but I did fill them up. Alright, peace YouTube.